What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and a couple of other tickers. I'm also going to break down what's going on with the overall markets. When we first mentioned, I am not a financial planner. Make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull and deposit $500, you guarantee 20 free stocks, and the offer ends very soon in just about 12 hours from now. Anyways, for SPY, I just want to call out that as you guys could see, we got this nice little range that developed on Friday. So we actually had these support and resistance levels. I mentioned to everyone on Friday and also on Sunday yesterday that if we broke 545.8, we'd be looking for that gap fill to 547. If we lost 544, we'd be dipping all the way down. So we did come down to 544 only to get bought back up and continue to push back here. We broke above 545.8 to fill this gap. We came very close to doing so, and now SPY is actually coming back down, showing some weakness. So the question is, will SPY continue to pump going into the next few days, or is this a fake out? Is this a fake out shorting opportunity, and are we going to continue to fall later on? I suspect that the most likely possibility is we will fall back down and that this is just a fake out. But just to be safe, I'm going to be talking about what you should be watching for. So we're currently in the 546s. For confirmation, we have to be watching to see if SPY could hold 547 or not. If we hold 547 and actually close above that, there's a very, very good chance that yes, SPY could actually try to push going into like tomorrow and beyond. But because SPY is once again struggling to hold above that level, and if we do get a rejection here, then the odds will favor us coming back down. So I think 547 is going to be our key level. If we break through this and hold above this for the next few days, there's a good chance SPY will continue to pump. If we fail to do so, this is just going to likely be a fake out, and this will likely continue to dip back down to 544. And then once we officially lose that, this is just going to continue to dip. So I'll be watching for that very carefully. But just note that this could be that, once again, that fake out, and you want to be very, very careful, at least when it comes to moves like this. Now, let me just call out real quick that today at 10:30 a.m. we have the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index report coming out. It might be coming out just as this but just as this video comes out, and then at 11:30 a.m. we have the 3-month and 6-month bill auctions. We'll see what volatility this causes. There was some big news that came out that J.P. Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Citibank have been flagged for holding trillions of dollars in derivatives without proper contingency plans. That's getting a lot of attention right now, especially after U.S. regulators flag them. This puts them at risk in case of economic turmoil, and that's going to be very important as well. So, with that being said, guys, I want to make it very clear that this is important for us to kind of look into because it shows a little bit of weakness, at least amongst these important lenders of our economy. And the lenders are very, very pivotal for these important businesses and such. So I wanted to call that out. As far as the market goes, there's a little bit of weakness, at least right here. We did pump a bit, but now we're kind of coming back down. We'll have to see if we end up forming a big wick here. If we come back below 545.6, if we come back below here, that's going to be a big sign of a rejection. We're close. We're not there yet. It's still kind of shuffling, but I am seeing signs that SPY, it did pump a bit, but it's now kind of struggling to break past resistance. So this kind of implies to me that we might kind of like shuffle up here and maybe see a move back down later. That seems like a strong possibility. But like I said earlier, wait and see how we end up closing. Do we close above 547 to turn bullish, or do we fail to do so? Especially if we close below 545.6, I would anticipate more downside after that. So we'll see, but the downside does look like a strong possibility still. This could still be just a downtrend on SPY as we had this high up here. We came down, made a lower high, and we just continued to dip. I'll be watching to see if that ends up being the case. So make sure you watch that on SPY. For Tesla pumped all the way up to this 188 area. We did call out the 188s if 185 broke. Now we're dipping back down to 185. If we lose it, I'll be watching 183 and also 182.5 and 180. And we have resistance all the way up towards 188. So that's what's been going on. If we lose 185, we'll continue to sink, very, very low. And there's going to be a risk of this actually dipping down to 183 all over again. So Tesla kind of pumped and dumped. So just wanted to note that. A little bit of weakness in the chart right now. We did expect it to pump a bit, and that's what happened. NVIDIA is remaining weak. It was trying to rebound a bit, only to fail. So I'm still seeing a weakness on NVIDIA, and I do see a risk of it getting closer to 120 and eventually 118. There's a little bit of weakness on NVIDIA. The odds do favor more downside. The triple Q is not doing as well as SPY. We kind of pumped a bit. Temporary little pump towards this 480 area only to reject. We're back at 488. You guys can see that it's not, doing as well. It's still in the red right now. So it is possible kind of rejects a bit, shuffles a bit in this 478 area, and it could dip lower as the next couple of days pass. So that's another strong possibility for uh, Apple right here. You guys can see Apple's trying to rebound a bit, could push towards 210. We'll have to see if we get a rejection off that or not. It is possible because a little bit higher. It could go a little higher towards 210, but watch to see if we get a big rejection. But that's something else that's worth noting. For Bitcoin, still looking pretty weak. I still anticipate that, this is just a little pump. Could retest 61,800 if that breaks, and 62,600 is coming. But my gut tells me it'll pump a little bit more and reject. That's looking a bit more probable. For Supermicro, we got a big rejection. We failed to hold 880. Now we're dipping down to like the 850 area. We also lost 860. So I'm seeing some weakness on this chart, and I do anticipate that we could be dipping all the way down to 840. So I'm looking for some more weakness on the charts. For Coinbase, although Coinbase is trying to rebound a bit, we still have this resistance at 220. We're struggling to break at the 20 EMA, which suggests that there could be more downside coming. So if we reject here, we could be making a move back down to 216. If we break 220, we could technically fill the gap up to 225 and then reject. But to me, it's either 220 and rejection or 225 and then rejection. One of those two. Amazon's trying to push higher, but remember, guys, between 190 and 192, we do tend to have some tough resistance. It's still bullish right now. We could get closer to 192 if we keep going, but just know that resistance is historically kind of tough up here. Just be careful on Amazon from that end. For Meta, we hit 505. If we break that, I'll be looking for 508. If we fail to break that, we'll be dipping all the way back down towards 500. And we are kind of pumping and kind of rejecting a bit on Meta. Just be very careful and be very mindful of that. For a few more things, we also have Microsoft. Microsoft has been pushing a little bit. I did call out 452 as my target. We went a little bit higher. Now we're just shuffling up here. I think there's going to be a lot of sideways price action at these highs for Microsoft. So look for a retest of 450 and some shuffling. And for Google, same thing, it's just trading sideways. I'll be looking at this range between 180 and about 182, kind of going back and forth and back and forth. And then for GME, we kind of pumped a bit. We could reject here and start dipping back down towards 23.6. And then, things like that happen. Then AMC is still looking kind of bearish. We could be dipping down to fill this gap all the way down here towards this area. So I do see a good chance of that potentially happening. But anyways, that is it for this one. Make sure you watch SPY very carefully. There are some signs that it's kind of pumping and then it could dump afterwards, but just be careful. We'll have to see how well it holds up, and I think 547 is going to be our magic level. If we hold 547 and we end up holding it, and if we end up, breaking through 547 and close above it, then we can remain bullish. SPY can start trying to approach all-time highs. If we close below 547, fail to hold it, then yes, we could be dipping back down. As right now, it's shuffling in this area, so we will see. So be very patient and just be very mindful of the fact that there's a lot of manipulation in the markets, and you have to just give it some time. So we'll see if this is a pump and dump. It's possible this could just be a fake pump. We're about to get a big rejection, but just be careful when trying to trade this and make sure. I would just say manage risks, especially have stops ready just in case, and then we'll see how it goes. But with that being said, that's it for my update video. I want to thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you guys in just a few hours. Thanks again, and peace out.